Okay, hello everybody. Remember, we've got a test this Friday, and here's a question that could very well be in that. So you got two golfers, and they're putting, and they're based on the diagram here, we've got two right triangles, okay? And we ultimately want to find the sum of the total distance the two balls traveled. So there's one ball right here, which is going to travel this way, and there's one ball right here, which is going to travel this way. Obviously, the ball over here is going to travel farther, but we don't need to know how far it travels. Well, we want to find the sum of both those distances. So we want this distance plus this distance. So how are we going to do this? Well, based on the information we have, there's no way to find exactly how long the ball travels. We simply do not have enough information. So, but I want you to be comfortable with that. So our answer is going to be in terms of x, all right? But knowing that we've got two right triangles, we're going to be using Pythagorean theorem. Leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. So I want to find both hypotenuses. And 35, what does 35 represent? It represents this entire leg, not just this little section. So if I want to find this distance, I need to take this leg, which is less than 35, right? Because the whole big thing is 35. So it's got to be less than 35. I don't know how much less, but some amount. And then that's where the x value comes in. So I'm going to mark this as x. So that distance is x long. I don't know how long it is, but if that's x long, then how long is this leg right here? Remember the whole thing was 35. So if I take away x, then that leg right there must be 35 minus x. And if you followed along that far, then you should be good. That's the hardest part about this problem. You got this one leg right here, which we're going to call 35 minus x. You got the other leg, which is x. And if I add both legs together, the x's cancel out, leaving you with just 35. So I'm going to use that information to find both of those hypotenuses. Let's start with this one first. So I need to take leg squared, which is x, plus the other leg squared equals that hypotenuse squared. So that's x squared plus 81. So I need to take the square root of x squared plus 81. That is exactly how long this ball needs to travel. The square root of x squared plus 81. X is that distance, this distance right here. So it depends on how big x is. That will impact how far that ball needs to travel. What about the other distance? Let's change to blue. So this longer distance. Well, again, it's leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. But this leg is 35 minus x. So that's the thing I have to square. Plus the other leg squared equals that hypotenuse squared. So this one involves more work. 35 minus x times 35 minus x. I know that's 81. I need to grab my calculator. 35 times 35 is 1,225 minus 35x minus 35x. So I'm double distributing. Plus x squared plus 81. More calculator work. 1,225 plus 81 is 1,306. So I'm just going to rearrange my terms. X squared minus 70x plus 1,306 equals the hypotenuse squared. So I square root that. And this is fine to leave it right here. In fact, this is most likely prime. You can't factor that. I can't think of two numbers that multiply to 1,306 and add up to negative 70. You don't even need to do that. So just leave it as this, x squared minus 70x plus 1,306. So that's the distance that the longer path will have to take. So the sum is just adding them together. So you take one distance plus the other. So this distance plus the other distance And that is it. And that looks pretty crazy and may look ugly to you, but that's a 100% correct. That's full credit. With the information we have, that's as far as we can go. Now, let's use that. What if this golfer right here was, let's say, 8 feet away from that line? So in other words, what if x equaled 8? So, and there's nothing special about 8. I just want to practice using this equation, this expression. So this expression up here that I put in a box, that's the total distance. That's the distance that both balls would travel. One ball's distance plus the other ball's distance. And I want to know, well, what is that distance exactly if x equals 8? So this is just a matter of really putting it into my calculator. Make sure you write this down so I know, so I know you're using the correct, you're plugging in 8 into the correct spot, 70 times 8. And you put that into your calculator exactly as you see it. So the square root of 8 squared plus 81. Now get out of that square root plus a new square root, 8 squared minus 70 times 8 plus 1,306. You press enter and I get about, we'll round it to 41, about 41 feet. That would be the total distance. One path plus the other path would be 41 feet.